So, welcome everyone to our weekly group coaching session. So, today we're going to talk about surveys and quizzes and the difference with the automations. So, you may be trying to figure out, do I want to create a survey or do I need to create a quiz, and what's the difference? And it's like I was just telling Charles before we got started that the difference really needs to be like the purpose that you're creating the quiz for and the automations that you actually need once you create it. I want to dive in. I also have a resource for you guys, as always. But I do want to recap a little bit. I'm going to share my screen here, and I want to recap just a little bit on yesterday, just to remind you about the difference here or about surveys. And if you missed any of the training yesterday, definitely go back into the membership area, and I have a resource there for you as well. So you can see the survey here, and it's just really basic. I can just go through the questions here. You can embed this on a website. You can also embed the quiz on a website. And then the last question here, you want to make the thing you're going to capture the contact details on. So I'll go ahead and enter that. And then you can click submit, and you can actually redirect to the results page that however they answered. So in this scenario, they would go to this page here. Now, on the back end of that, this is what the survey looks like. So we have custom fields here that we can create, or we can use any of the standard fields when creating our quiz. So you see, these are all custom fields, and we have this section down here. This is what the back end of that looks like. Now, you can create your custom fields and you can put them in a folder. And when you do that, you will see them here in the profile area. So that makes it really helpful. With quizzes, that will not show up here, only when you're using custom fields, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and X out of this. Now, the other part of the survey, when you complete that survey, and before I get to that point, you actually can calculate answers here or points based per answer. But to be honest, there's not really a lot that you can do with that, okay? Maybe you wanna use it for your own reasons, but it's not like a quiz where you can tally it up and then give the answer with the results page and things like that. If that's what you're looking for, you probably wanna think about creating a quiz. Now, with the survey as well, you'll see here the trigger. You can choose the specific survey. And then if we go to filter more, the only options that we have is a custom field or disqualified or the terms and conditions. All right. Now, if we want to just keep this at this survey, so when they submit the survey, typically we'll choose like a if else conditional step here. But if you choose that and you want to trigger, like maybe you want to add tags or send emails based on the answers of the survey, you would definitely need to use the survey. And then you can use the contact option and scroll down until you get to the question or the custom field that you want to build your automations from. So let's say that this was my custom field, and I say if they answer with this, then I want to create this branch, and then I can add tags and I can use any of those automations there. Now I can also, let me delete this and go here. We could also update contact fields and all of that. The biggest difference is if you want to send an email or you want to get really granular with your automations by adding tags and maybe adding to different lists and opportunities based off the answers, you will want to use the survey, okay, as opposed to the quiz. Now, like I told you, we did talk a lot about surveys, and I really got deeper into surveys and showing how to create the custom pages that you're routing to. So if you missed that, go back before it expires and grab this. I also gave you a document here that is trained specifically on the HighLevel survey builder. And what's cool about this, you can upload this to any AI that you're using in the conversation, and it will generate the responses almost like a custom GPT, but it's trained enough to generate the response to help you create the survey and also deliver it to you in a way that is really friendly with the HighLevel builder. So it's made to do that. Now, today we're talking more about quizzes. And so I also do have a PDF document that you can use there. Now, when I was creating the quiz, I'm using Manus and I wanted to train it on high level. But you can see as I scroll through this conversation here, I'm tweaking it, I'm asking it to revise things, and I want it to give me categories because it wasn't. And this is a big, long conversation here. So now at the end of all of this, I told it to create a guide and to give me everything that we discussed in this guide so that I can upload to a specific AI and then generate that response. So it created the guide, which is available inside of the membership area. That's this guide right here. It created the guide. And so just to test this out and make sure that you guys could use this flawlessly, I uploaded and it said I received the PDF. So it's reviewing the PDF. And all I said was use this guide to help me create a fun quiz to help leads determine what spirit animal they are. So I did also say only 5 questions. And it actually did generate this entire quiz here. And you can see it shows the 5 paths. So the wolf, owl, fox, eagle, bear. It gives the high level categories, and I'll explain all of this to you in just a second. We also have, let me make sure. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead and let everyone in. All right. You also have the 5 question framework. So this is really designed, you guys, to make this so super easy. We have all the questions, we have all of the answers, you have all of the categories to assign them to, and then all of the points here. Okay. So if you scroll down here, you also see the scoring results and what you can write on the results page and the different calls to action. Okay. So let's go now into the quiz builder. I'm going to click here and open up this quiz that I just built. Now, this quiz probably isn't the best use case, the one that I built for just basically piggybacking off of the survey idea that we did yesterday, using this quiz to help users understand what their skill level is so that I can help them with the quiz choose which of the offers I have available that would be best suited for them. So you can see here that I have added a single choice option here. So because I'm using these quick adds for the quiz questions, it is not a custom field. So it will not show up in the profile. It will not be available for us to build those automations in the workflow to segment the answers. Okay. So that is something that you want to consider when you're trying to figure out, do you want a survey or do you want a quiz? Okay. Now you'll see over here when we select the single choice option and we scroll down, we're going to paste our question here. And then you'll see we can make this required and we can choose, do we want this bubble look here or do we want the standard? We also want to add our questions here. Now, when I go back here to this quiz that I created here for the spirit animals, you'll see the category assignment. Now, in this quiz here, I actually have different categories, and you can add or manage your categories by clicking there. So if I was building out this particular quiz, I would want to use the categories that it's given me. I'd want to create a wolf, owl, fox, eagle, and bear. And then I would just paste all of those in here. Okay. So what we're doing is we're basically telling the system, if they answer this, I want it to put in this category, and I'm going to choose the score system here. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is on the results page, it's going to determine the score based off of the category and the points. Okay. So if I go back here, you can see if they answer this question with this answer, we're going to put them in the wolf category and we're going to add 10 points. Okay. So again, we have what does your ideal weekend look like? And then we have all of the answers, the category, and the points. So it's made really easy for you to just simply scroll on through. Now, if you have like a option where they want to, as soon as they answer it, you want to just immediately send them to a specific card, you can actually do that here. So let's say that if they answer question 1 with, I've never heard of high level before, and I just want to immediately send them to like the last question, I could do that here. Okay. So basically, you just need to enter in the questions and the answers and the category and the score points. Okay. Now, when you get down here to the results page, you can click here and you'll see that you have your business name, which is going to be default. You can also reverse this if you wanted that to be on the other side. You can just see that flipping through there. And you'll notice that as I do this and we highlight over here that it is like an actual section. Okay. So you want to make sure to edit all of these sections here. And you can do that by clicking on the section and coming over here to these options here. So we can add our logo here. We can change the logo width and height. We can change what this says instead of recommendations. We can also adjust the padding and the background color. Now to edit the next section, we're going to click on that section and you'll see we have all of the style here. So we can style this for a low score, a medium score, or a high score. We also have the show the overall score. We can show the score tiers. We can choose, do we want this out of 10 or the actual score or percentage? We can adjust the score on the right or the left. We can also adjust any of the padding and the background colors. And if you scroll up here, you do have your score tiers. So if you want the low, of course, you can change the color, but if you want the low or you want to change the label, you can do that here. And then you can decide what is considered low. So if we're talking about percentages, 0 to 35% will be considered low, medium, 36 to 70%, and then so on. Okay, so that's how you want to adjust that. Now you also have the different categories here that it will actually break down based on category. So if you wanted them in the other example to see how much of a wolf is their spirit animal or how much is an owl and break that down by percentage based on their answers, you can actually do that here with the different categories. You also have the score settings here as well, and then the padding and all of that. Okay. Now, if you go down here, this is the calls to action. So you can make this dynamic and choose a different call to action based on the different scores, or you can just create one call to action here, which is really good, especially if you're using like this option here where you're helping them determine which of your offers is best based on the answer. If you choose the dynamic, you could actually adjust this. Maybe in this scenario, if I am saying the free community is the best option for you, I can adjust this call to action to send them right to the free community. If I decide high level is the best for you, then again, I can adjust that call to action based on the results to go to high level and so on. Okay. All you need to do is go here, type in, go to website, and then whatever link you want them to go to. You also have the button style here, margin, and background color. You also have this option down here where you can actually set up your social media channels. You can adjust the message here. Like you can see it's follow us, and then all the different links to your social media. And if you want to add more, you can add Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google. Of course, you also have your margin and background color here as well. So that's how you want to set up the results. And if you go here to this little notification setting, you'll see that you can actually email the results to both the person taking the quiz and also yourself if you want to be emailed every time a result has or a quiz has been taken. You also have your settings here for the main submission. So if you want the results page that we just saw, you can use that option. Or if you'd rather just give a message here or send them to a URL, you can do that as well. You can also track all of your submissions here in this area. And if we go back over to edit, you do have these options here as well to adjust the style and some advanced options here. Okay. So you guys, really, that is how easy it is to create a quiz and a survey inside of HighLevel. Now, I want to talk to you about the automations here for quizzes. So I'm just going to completely get rid of the survey here, and I want to show you what's available for the quiz. So in our trigger, we're going to choose when the quiz has been submitted, if we spell it correctly. So I'm going to choose quiz. We could choose the specific quiz. So we'll say quiz is here. And if we want to filter more, you'll see the options that we can now filter through. So these are actually categories. And that's why the category is so important, because we're determining based off of the score what category they actually fall in. So if someone scores in the free community category, then I can say free community equals and then add whatever percentage. I could also say is less than or equal to, and I have all of these options here. So let's say free community 10%, save trigger. Now, I could build out a separate workflow for every single category or combination that I want to. And then or I could use the if else conditional logic here. And then let's say that this is going to be this first option here. Then I can choose workflow trigger is, and then it will allow me to choose this. I haven't saved this, and I would need to save and refresh for that to show up. But it will allow you at that point to choose the workflow trigger so that you can build out your system. Just note that it is based off of the category. So you can choose the overall score, or you can choose the individual category score or custom fields. But those are the options that you have available to send and segment your list based off of quizzes. So surveys, you can send and segment your list based off of custom values. And then quizzes, you can segment and based off of the category score or the overall score. Okay. So you guys definitely check out that document. Let me know what you think. I'm going to stop sharing here. All right. Let me go ahead and let Ray in. All right, guys. So what do you think? What questions do you have? I see Timmy has a question. Timmy, I don't know if you want me to read this out loud. Probably. I played with the quiz builder previously, but have found it has good intentions, but not the best practicality yet. Seeing all the percentages per category on the results page would be highly confusing to the end user. I think, Timmy, it has a lot to do with, it's like I was saying, do you use the survey or do you use the quiz builder? I think it has a lot to do with what result are you trying to get? And then, of course, how you format that result using the functions available. That's why I think that part is really confusing. And that's why I really wanted to break this down today and not just talk about how to build a quiz, but also talk about how do you know which option is going to be best for you and your specific quiz with the result and your level of segmentation that you want to build off of that. I see your question. Is there a way that it will specify which category they scored the highest in and just allow us to show that one category? You can, I think you can do that. Let me go into the quiz builder and let's see. All right, so we have the results page, and that would be here. Score setting. Okay. So you don't have to show the score, like you could toggle that off. You can actually choose. I'm just trying to see all the options here. So I think that's probably what you would want is just toggle that off, and then you would still show the categories. Maybe that's what you're asking. Let me stop.
So, Bridget, real quick. So, in this case, we have basically assigned points to each question based on their answers. I'm expecting that it would show me that your spirit animal is, let's say, a wolf, right? Based on the scores that we have gotten, because that's the selection they picked the most, let's say. So, there's no way that I found that you could show just saying wolf was 90% and that's your spirit animal. There's no easy way of doing that. These quizzes are not really designed for personality type of quizzes, is what I'm finding, because a couple of my clients actually tried to use the quiz builder and we were not able to achieve what we wanted. I know that they have added more functionality since then, but still, I think the missing piece is not being able to look at the overall score and the category scores to be able to do some additional math on that to basically say this is your highest category or this is your lowest scoring category. That is still not possible, not even in the workflows.
So is that different from this right here? Because
Yeah,
because it's segmenting the answers, showing the percentage based off of the category total.
yeah. So, for example, here, they're getting to see 94%, 90%, 60%. So they have to decipher the result to say, okay, the 94%, that must be my category because that's the highest score. No
Mhm.
easy way to say, this is your spirit animal. That's not possible. And right below that, it also says, this score reflects your success with each option. And that text, I believe, is there for each one, and you can't turn that off.
This text right here, if you just delete this, that goes away.
Okay. But if you wanted to say, let's say if I wanted to say, only show the 94% one and just say, this is your spirit animal, right? It doesn't do that. It's very
Well,
confusing.
so you can create the message that you want to send them based off of the percentage here. So, for example, low, maybe you want to say this is not the best option for you. And then if they're for the medium one, this is an option but not recommended, or high, like this is absolutely the closest, you are a wolf or whatever you wanted to add.
Okay.
So there, yeah, this is fairly new. So I'm curious what the rest of you guys think and if you're using it. I would really have to play around with it to see if I could get the result that you're trying to get. But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. Let me stop sharing. Does anybody else have any experience with the quiz builder or any questions about that? No? Any questions about anything else? All right. Have a nice weekend. See you later.
Good one, good one. If no one has any questions, Bridget, again, thank you for way back when you started having us understand this new platform, Zoom Events. I was able to get everything set up, and we've actually launched and published her Zoom event platform. So registration is open for that now, and we're using the Zoom platform. It's been eye-opening to see everything that you're available to do in the background, the hub, the lobby, the sessions, exhibitors, all of this that I will be loading in. So I'm just excited to have the first page up and have that launched for her. And she's really excited about the platform. So thank you again for even bringing that, because I already know I would not have been able to do it without seeing what you've already done for us and being able to go in and mimic that. I would have still been trying to utilize StreamYard, but I do believe for this particular event, Zoom Events is going to be paramount in how she does this year's virtual. So thank you for that.
Cool. I've had people ask me, like, why do you use Zoom events over something else or whatever?
Anything.
Yeah. It's honestly just for anybody else wondering. It's 100%. I had to go to Zoom events because I wanted my videos to be in 1080p. Live stream using Zoom, like to YouTube or even just recording, the best quality you get is 720, and that is just not acceptable. Now, all the other stuff that Martina was just talking about, that was all the bells and whistles I had no idea even existed. Solely went because of the 1080p, but I agree with you. I love it. And I think I know that HighLevel is coming out with the ability to live stream inside of our communities. And that will be great, but I think I'll still continue using the Zoom lobby
Well,
because
I'll
I
be excited to see what High Level does, because so many of their tools are increasing and covering so many different aspects of what we need as business owners, let alone as agency owners. But the ability to see how easy it was to get everything set up, to have all of the pixels, the dimensions, the locations, and then everything that we can offer them, like you said, as far as the other things that are in there, the sessions, the exhibitors, the expo, all of that extra that you can do in there. I believe I am really excited for this event to happen. Number one, now that we've gotten at least the foundation set up, I'm ready for the event to happen. I'll definitely be reporting back. But again, I'm so glad that you had to make the pivot that you had to show us what you're doing. So now we could go and duplicate it inside of our service offerings if needed.
good. I'm so glad. I'm excited to hear how you because one thing I've never done is host like an event with multiple presenters and things
Mhm.
like that, like really utilizing like the production studio and all of that inside of Zoom events.
Mhm. I
So
think
there's
that's what's going to
so
be exciting for me,
yeah.
because I've always hosted other speakers and other virtual events through StreamYard. And like you say, it doesn't have the 1080 output. But now that I'm seeing what Zoom can do, I'm really excited for this event to happen to see how that works. I knew how it worked in StreamYard. So, of course, I was nervous to come over here and do it inside Zoom, but it actually has been simpler to set everything up already. So I was excited about that. I definitely will report back, and it's open to the public. So of course, if anybody wants to register to watch SpeakerCon, they can. Again, it's for speakers and those who are aspiring speakers and established speakers. So I'm excited to see what this does for her platform, for our platform, and our network.
Yeah, I really think, like, above everything else, when you log in, like, when you're the visitor and you log in to the Zoom lobby, I think it just really gives such a professional appearance and the feel of it, I think. It's
My
just
goodness,
like the
yes.
impression. Yeah, it's really cool. And people will typically ask me like, "Oh my gosh, how did you get your Zoom to look like this?" Because I just don't know that it's an option available with Zoom.
Yeah, to everyone. You have to go down that little bit of a rabbit hole, and we needed it for our case study, and it's been performing. If I get an opportunity, I can show that later. But I know Sandy's waiting, so I'll hop back in later.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm excited to hear how it all goes down. Who was next, Sandy or Charles? Not sure.
I think I was. I
Alright.
think I was. I was like, if nobody else is gonna ask for advice, I need help with something.
Sure.
But I do have to tell you one funny thing. Last night I was on, I think it was IG or it might have been Facebook, and an ad or something of yours popped up, and there were 3 words that you said. I don't know what you said, and I quickly muted it because I was, like, in the bedroom, and I didn't want my husband to, "That was Bridget." So, I was like, "Name that person in 3 words." Bridget. So, you're in
Yeah,
my house a lot. He knows your voice now.
that's
So I thought that
hilarious.
was funny, but yeah, I just need some advice as to how to create this web page. I've been working on it. I've hashed some of it out with Gamma, but I have a client that has health practitioners. And so the way she's created it is she collects the initial fee for their first appointment for recommending her other practitioners, basically. So she gets the fee for the first appointment, but after they pay it, then they get sent to a page to select a recommended practitioner. And we've contemplated doing the survey or quiz potentially to help them find the practitioner that fits their need, because she has some that specialize in different areas. But I don't want it to be where like the same practitioner gets the people every time. So I don't know if we're going to do that or just give them a page and let them find a person in their area. But what would you suggest in creating that? I need to keep it simple because I have to explain to her what I did. And if I have to get into deep surveys and all that stuff, like right now, I just need it to where she collects the fee and then she recommends them to the practitioners, and I'm probably overthinking it.
So, how many practitioners do you have?
At this point, she only has probably a dozen, but she's training people all the time in this modality that she's doing, and I actually went through her training so I'd understand what I was building a little bit better for her, and so she could have a dozen every few months. So right now, she maybe has, like, a dozen people that actively wanna be on. So that's probably all I need to worry about right now is how to do it with 12 people.
So, I'm just thinking, whatever I suggest to you has to be a scalable system. Otherwise, it's only going to work for 1 month. And I'm thinking like a quiz would be good or a survey. And then you could route them to, let's say that they determine they need a chiropractor. And then you route them to a page with chiropractors. I'm literally just thinking about this in my head
Okay.
out loud. But I'm not really sure how you would track that. What do you guys think? Anybody else have a suggestion on that? Or have any experience doing something like that in a high level? Yeah, I really don't know. Of course, I know ways that you could do it, but
Right.
not ways that you could scale it in an easy way. I'm thinking you could create like a different calendar for each practitioner, and then you could do like a round robin. So I'm thinking all of these things, but that's not a scalable thing if you want to keep adding 12 practitioners every month.
And 2, they don't all I mean, it would be great for me because then I might get all their business for high level sites and things, but a lot of them are already established and have all their own things. Some of them are actually, like, doctors, some of them aren't, so I don't really wanna get into all the HIPAA stuff with all that. Basically, she just says, I'm gonna advertise for you as being my practitioner, and basically all you do is pay me the initial, I think it's $97 for initial appointment. So sometimes this is saving people a huge amount of money because some of these practitioners will charge 225 for an hour, whereas their initial appointment is gonna be 97 because this doctor is recommending them to another. And part of the problem is she just can't handle the volume of people that she has coming to her for appointments. So she's given her practitioners that she's trained in this modality the time to get new clients in their area if they want to do one-on-one, if they want to do virtual, however they want to do it. But I've got to somehow funnel it to them from her, and they're all going to have their own calendars, their own setup. So basically, the person will just create
will just click a button that takes them to that person's. They'll give me a link for their site, wherever that is, to their calendar, whatever they give me to click to them to make that appointment after they've paid. That's the problem is they're not all using the same thing. They're not all giving me some of them are giving me web pages, some of them are giving me email addresses, and I've just got to figure it out. Her site was such a mess when I found her, and she's so excited about what I've done, but I'm like, I'm tackling this now, and I'm like, do I need to like just
So
ask Manus? Is that
it
what I need to do? Do I need a Manny?
yeah, you could. You could if you What has she is this a new thing that she's starting?
No, she's done this for years.
How has she been
She's
tracking all of that?
she hasn't very well. She's been just calculating it, and she does a lot of it just based on an honor scale, which she's probably leaving a lot of money on the table because she would just so basically when I first built it out, I built it like her old website, and I would give the practitioner like a one practitioner page, and they would find somebody they liked and they would click on it. Those people had to know that, hey, I got him through Dr. Robin, and then I need to give her money. They might not always do that. And I don't think they would maybe necessarily do it maliciously, but you forget. And
Mm.
so she's leaving a lot of, and I'm saying, no, you got to collect the money up front. She even does that with her appointments. The first time I ever did an appointment with her, I had no clue what she charged because she just basically said you get charged after the initial visit. And then she's like, it's $225. I was like, cool, I got a lot of help, but that's a lot of money that you need to tell people up front that you're about to collect. Because some of these people, they're sick, they don't have a clue. And anyway, so it's just been all this. I'm trying to get her organized. I'm trying to get her collecting more of the funds because she has pioneered this whole modality and she's helped thousands of people, but she doesn't have a lot to show for it yet.
Yeah, because what it sounds like what she's trying to create is like a reverse affiliate system.
Yes.
Instead of each of the practitioners having an affiliate program, which would make it so easy because then she could essentially just have a directory and people could go and search whatever they're looking for, click the affiliate link, and then she earns commission when they book an appointment on their calendar or website.
So would that be easier for me to do? She'll take whatever I give her. I just can't wrap my brain around what I really need. Because she came up with the idea of let me just do a flat fee of $97 first appointment, then give them off to the other people. That way she knows she gets paid. She's not having to collect money from them. She's not having to handle all the
Yeah.
other stuff.
So if you built that for her, you would have to the challenge comes like when they're booking on the practitioner's calendar in their own system. So you would have to there wouldn't be a way for you to track if they go to their own website and even if
Right.
they
Yeah.
like opted in. I guess it's not a foolproof way of tracking, but I guess if they wanted to take a quiz, you could capture their contact information at that point, and then maybe choose like maybe there's a question where you ask what type of practitioner are you looking for, and then you could just segment it out like that, but then that's still like the manual tracking. It's just a way of capturing the lead information and then documenting a little bit, but without having access to their system or recreating their system, I don't know how you could track that. If you wanted to just build it all into your own account, each each practitioner would have to have like their own calendar. And then you would have to somehow mix their calendar appointments with the calendar that you have as well so that they can see what's available. You see what I'm saying?
I
So
know, but I couldn't even get our calendar to work with mine and my husband. So I'm like, I can't imagine 12 practitioners or more on a round robin calendar.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm really honestly just working through the possibilities that just come to mind, but I certainly, unfortunately, I don't really have an
Oh, yeah.
easy solution.
No, it's fine. I'm not it helps me because 'cause I'm not overthinking it because this is not like an easy fix. This is pretty complicated
Yeah.
what she wants to do, but yeah. Okay, thank you. If anybody comes up with any ideas, shoot them my way.
Yeah, for sure, and
Thank
usually when somebody asks me a question I don't know the answer to, it kinda gets stuck in my head, so I'll probably figure out a good solution for you, like, tomorrow at 2 a.m.
That'd be great. Thanks so much. I love you guys.
I will definitely let you know if I do.
He's a question from yesterday.
I'm sorry?
I'm still trying to figure out Timmy's answer for or an answer for
Oh, I know, it gets stuck in your head for sure. Charles, thank you so much for being patient.
Yeah. Quick question on testing. I'm rerunning or I'm getting ready to launch a new ad campaign and play, which I haven't done in a while. So it's a lot of different updates. And then I was sitting there thinking about testing. I basically can't test the lead because there's no way to test from the lead form if I'm doing it like in Facebook, for example. So I
Uh,
have to test everything after that. I just can't test the initial how it would come in.
oh, if you're using a Facebook lead form, you could go to the ad and test it that way. There is a way to test. I cannot remember. I did a video about that, and it was like last year where I showed how to do the lead form. Let me look. Okay, read
Okay.
leads from Facebook. On my YouTube channel, I think I called it because I went through that process. It hasn't
Okay.
changed much. But there is a way to test. It's like a thing inside of Facebook. It's a Facebook feature. Let me Google it, Charles. This is going to drive me
Okay.
insane. Test Facebook lead form. And I think I got this from High Levels training in the knowledge base. Here you go. Here's the doc from Facebook. But if you go to the high level knowledge base, because that's where I got this link, but it tells you, if you look up Facebook lead form, it tells you how to test it. And it's a specific link that you can go to. And it's like you basically trigger like the lead gen. They use changing the opportunity, however you trigger it, and then
Mm.
it will test that lead form.
Okay.
It's working.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a way to do it, but I just wasn't sure. Okay. So then, no, that's
There's
great.
And if for some reason you can't figure that out, once you place the ad inside of the AI Ads Manager, if you go to the results page, you'll see on the right-hand side, it'll say go to the post, and like you can check the comments as well. So you could just click there, go to the exact post, and then just do a test yourself with a fake.
Okay. Uh,
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Timmy.
Hey, Bridget. Bridget, I have two things. First, I want to just offer a suggestion for Sandy's use case for the different practitioners. Sandy, I'm almost thinking that you want to create a calendar and even possibly a page for each practitioner, in addition to initially collecting that $97 for your client, right? So you collect that payment first, then on the confirmation page, you're basically now directing them to this other page where all, let's say, 12 practitioners are listed with a button to go to each practitioner's page. And then once they go to book the call, you have one of two options. Either you embed a calendar that you build on GHL for that specific practitioner and link it to their Google or Outlook or whatever they're using on the back end, or on that page, you embed their calendar, whatever platform they're using. If they're using Calendly or some other thing, embedding that calendar right on that page. That way, you're seeing where the lead went to which practitioner's page and things like that. And one other thing that I'm thinking of, even somehow adding either a question or something at the very end, which practitioner are you about to pick or something like that. So let them tell you exactly who they want to work with after they've looked through all of them and booked an appointment, something like that. So that kind of way, in a way, like captures the tracking as well as gets them to the right practitioner's page. Because I have a similar situation where I have a couple of other coaches that help out with my mastermind. One coach uses my GHL platform with her own sub account. So the way we have hers set up, when they book a call, I also get a notification from her CRM letting me know that somebody booked a call. There is another person who uses a third-party calendar tool. For her, I don't get a notification that somebody has booked a call with them, but I am the only one who gives them that specific link to go to. So if somebody books through that link on that person's booking thing, they know that all those leads came from me because I pay those coaches for providing this additional service for my community. So that's how we're handling it. So one, I automatically get notified. The other one, they notify me after it's done. But in your case, you're collecting fee upfront, which is excellent. I think that's the best way to do it. Then on the back end, is tracking, just asking them which practitioner did you end up going with, and then creating separate pages for them rather than creating one round robin for all practitioners. I think that'll be very confusing. So
Yeah.
I would do individual calendars for each practitioner. I think that would make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's a great solution, Timmy, because if I embed their calendar and they don't have one, then I can likely get them to use HighLevel calendar and then I get a new client.
Exactly.
That's even better. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
I
you.
love that idea of embedding the calendar into the page. You could even essentially create like a workflow every time that specific page is viewed. You could update a custom field or something like this person viewed Dr. Bob's page. Just another way of tracking that. But I love the embedding the calendar idea. I think that would definitely at least solve some of the problems.
Yeah,
Timothy,
because I don't want to get into scheduling for them. That was my biggest
yeah,
problem.
yeah. Yeah, and it's like Timmy was saying that round robin may work if you only had 12 forever, but if you want to keep adding 12 on, and that's what I always think about every time I make a decision based on I'm building automations. What does this look like when we're scaling? And what does this look like for the client? Their perspective. Is this even going to be a system that's usable for them? Because I know when I was building for my lawn care business, my husband, it's just anything more than logging into the app was too much. It's anything more than logging into the app and adding tags was too much for him. But we built a system and he, being that person, he was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that has ever happened. So definitely creating those systems, keeping the end user in mind as well as the scalability. That's really important. Timmy, did you have something else that you wanted to add or a question, or did you just want to help Sandy?
Yes. So I do have a question. Surprisingly, it's also related to scheduling and calendars. My question is, if we are selling, let's say, a coaching package that has multiple appointments, but we want the client to book the appointment at a later date, what is the best way of handling that? So far, I've just given them the link to schedule, and that link they only get after they've paid for the full package, but it's the same booking link that they can use over and over. But is there a way to track how many appointments they've already booked? Because if we want to scale this and have, let's say, six sessions or something, how do we make sure that they are only booking 6 sessions and not 8 sessions?
So I don't know of a way that you could track that at the calendar level, but you could build an automation like every time they book an appointment, it adds or subtracts from the total from an like a math operation. So if you created like a custom field and it was like appointments available, so like they sign up for the 6 appointments or whatever, and then that adds 6 appointments to that custom field. And then every time they book one of those appointments, it subtracts 1 from that total. And then you could even build in, don't confirm the appointment unless they have one available in this field. Is would that work for what you're talking about?
So the counter gets updated after they have booked the appointment, right? The appointment's gonna get booked with a confirmed status, right? Or you're suggesting that book it as an unconfirmed until checking to see if there are available appointments left. Then let's say 5 minutes later, send them a confirmation.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I will have to play with it and see how it works, but that does sound good. The only hesitation I have as I think through this is, let's say somebody bought a package, but before their package is expired, now they are booking another package. It's going to essentially update that custom field, right?
So you could, if there's an expiration date, you could also create a custom field with the expiration date. And then just when you're building out your automations, you're using the if else. So if they have appointments available and it's before this date, then confirm. And then once confirmed, subtract 1 from the total.
Okay. I think I am following, but I think the one thought I have is that could a person have multiple packages, multiple active packages at the same time, potentially?
You could if you created a different custom field. Let's say you have different classes, okay? And they sign up for class A, and that class includes 6 appointments. And so you would build out that system, right, to track those number of appointments. And then if they purchase class B, then that's just a different workflow where it's okay, now they have this number of appointments. And then once they book, you're subtracting. Once they pay, you're adding to the appointments. And then each one that they confirmed that you're subtracting.
Okay, got it. Thank you. That helps. I learned the hard way that in form submissions, when people submit a new entry in the contact area, you basically see the latest answer. You don't see the previously submitted answers. You have to go to the form submission to see the previous answer. Essentially, some new entry could be overriding the previous one, at least
Yeah.
where I'm.
So you definitely want to use different custom fields. So if it's class A, you want to make sure that you're maintaining the integrity of everything within class A, right? So you wouldn't want to have the same booked appointments field for class A and B. So it'd be class A has a purchase, it fills out this custom field. So you would have like appointments available for class A, appointments available for class B.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
All right. I can totally walk you through that if you want to. It's quite, to me, I know talking to you, it's like talking to Charles or Ray or Martina. Like I'm telling you, but I know that you're building this in your head. So if you run into any issues, definitely let me know and I can help you walk through it. Just
Awesome. I'll be back on Monday if it doesn't work.
yeah, definitely let me know. And I can just quickly show you here, just because we do have just a few minutes and I don't see any other hands up. So what you would do here is let's just imagine this is the workflow. And so we have booked appointments. Okay, so customer booked an appointment. And then, of course, it's going to be unconfirmed if it ever loads. Okay, so we're going to say that this is unconfirmed. All right, stop. All right, but just pretend that this is booked and unconfirmed. Okay, now you have this if else conditional logic. If, and then we'll see contact details. And we'll go down to, I thought okay, I do have a number field in here. So if the number is equal to or less than, or let's say, I would definitely have to think this more. I thought I could just quickly show you this, but I definitely need to think about this process because you have to create the custom field and then you're going to check the custom field. Is this number more than, yeah, it would be like more than 0 or so it would be more than 0. And then if it is more than 0, then confirm the appointment. And then you would have another step, which would be to add or subtract. So we want the math field, math operation. You're going to select that field. So the custom field, and I do have one that's like number of calls. And then it would be subtract 1 and then update the field. Number of calls. So it's a few steps, but I think this could work for you. But definitely try it out. Let me know. And if you have any questions, I can definitely help you work through it.
Awesome. My nerdy brain is so happy. Thank
Yep.
you.
So I know. I love it. I love when you ask those questions because I'm like, oh, I'm like, now I need to think about this. I love it.
Whenever Timmy asks a question, it's you better put your thinking caps on.
Yeah, I love it. Challenges me.
All the simple stuff first.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I do want to do our YouTube drawing and spinning the wheel. So let's do YouTube first. For all of you who have joined, of course, you have the opportunity to win a private consultation, but everyone also has the ability to win a second consultation by going to last week's replay of our group coaching session. And this one was the AI tools. So we talked about Gamma. So if you went to this video and you commented below Gamma, your name gets entered into the drawing. So I'm using the YouTube picker. I am choosing the word Gamma here, and I did bring in all the comments before we got started because there's a deadline of 2 p.m. All right, so now I'm going to spin the wheel, and whoever wins gets a free private consultation. Then we'll spin the wheel for all of you guys in the meeting. That's Maria. All right, that's Maria.
Yeah, got it. Got it. Come right here. Thank you.
I will send you the link when we're done. You probably already have it. You got some backed up. All right, let's go to, where's my wheel? We're going to go Wheel of Names. Let me go ahead and add all of you. So we have Ray, and we have Martina, and Andrea, and Charles. And we have Frankie, Manolo. We'll do Maria again. 2 chances to win. She's pretty blessed.
Gotta take Keith out of there. He's got enough.
Yeah, Keith is a constant winner too.
Ray wants his name in twice.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
And Timmy. I think Ray did get his name entered twice by commenting on the YouTube video and now. So all of you guys get that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel. Did I call everyone's name? Did I miss anyone? Going once? Twice? All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Spoke it into existence.
Uh-huh. All right. I will send you both the link when we're done here. Have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.